Hi, welcome back, my awesome students. So on this lecture, I'm going to give you a little bit of explanation of the general concept, the general technical concept of what we are doing on this section. Okay, because I'm the type of guy that I like people to give me the big idea, and then my mind would try to figure things out before I hear the idea. So maybe there are some of you that like the big idea, and then you can at least try yourself to figure things out, right? So here's what we're building, of course, right? We're building something like this. And by the way, guys, I'm measuring from the future. So, whatever code you see here that you don't have, don't worry, you will have it by the end of the course. I just have it because I'm measuring from the future. I already finished the course, right? So we are building this application where we are going to have this checkout, right? And we are going to be adding all this stuff. And then when we click on a button here, that's going to take all the information in this cart to PayPal. Okay. Then PayPal behind the scenes is going to process a payment for the amounts and the quantity that we have here, whatever they are. And then we are going to receive a response from PayPal that we are going to be using to actually input some information that we get from them into our admin area. Simple as that. Okay, so we are going to be connecting to their API basically. Okay, and we are going to be using actually the simplest way possible to do this, because this is a beginner's course. I don't want to overwhelm you with really advanced stuff. That's for a later course. You might want to look for that, okay? Because there are different ways of actually connecting to payment processing code out there. We got some JavaScript code that we can use, and we can of course use PHP like we're doing right here. But anyway, so in this checkout page, we are going to have a form underneath this behind the scenes. And guys, don't worry about the code. I just want you to have an idea, okay, on what we're building. We're going to have a form. You can see the form on the checkout page here. I'm going to give you a code like this. Let me see if I have it so I can show it to you. Some of this code I have. Oops, let me actually, give me one little second here. So I'm going to give you some code here, okay? Something like this. So that way you can have it available, okay? I don't want you to just grab this code and plug it into the application. Just have it as a reference so that maybe you can copy some of it, but not all of it, because, some of the stuff might not work with your code yet, okay? But I want you to have it as a reference. I think I had another, let me see, right here. Let me see, this is a form checkout. Find it right here. So I'm going to give you some code here. So make sure that you look for that code, those files inside this lecture or the next lectures. They're going to be in the resources tab somewhere. So make sure you look for them, okay? Always look at the resources when you are looking at a lecture. You don't never know when I'm going to give you some files. I'm not doing that, so you can cheat. I'm doing that so you can have a little reference on what's going on. So we're going to have the form basically, okay? And we're going to be using this action attribute that is going to be using an URL like this to be submitting to this sandbox.paypal, okay? In their server, we are going to be taking some information. We are going to be sending them some information, and they are going to be carried in this name attribute fields here as variables, okay? When they see it there, they're going to be able to say, okay, the item name is purse. An example, the item number is this, the amount is this. They process it, and then they send us a response that we get back in our orders page. Okay, simple as that. Now, one thing that I want you to do on this here is, let me see. Okay, so in order for you to find the page here, because I don't want you guys just to get the files from me, okay, I want you guys to actually be resourceful. So in order for you to find this page here, sometimes PayPal changes things around. You can look for the link on the resources tab. I'm going to give you the link for this too. But if you want to find it yourself, you can type in PayPal checkout form name values. I know it's weird, but that's how I got there. Okay, I'm going to give you this link anyway. because last link I gave to you guys actually was expired, which is crazy. How can they take down some information like that? But anyway, so as you can see here, PayPal receives this hidden input values, and it gives PayPal programs instructions on what to do. Like for example, this underscore cart tells PayPal that this is for shopping cart purchases, because there are different variables for different things. For example, this one, donations, is for donation button processing. Okay, so they got all the explanation here, and of course they got the form that I'm going to give you. Okay, somewhere here, there we go. Okay, as you can see the action attribute. We can even get some image from PayPal website, okay, by just having an input type of image and then putting that in the source. Awesome, right? So I wanted to give you guys that information because I think it's useful for some people like me that I like to see the big picture. I know that some of you want to see the big picture. Now you have an idea of what we are doing, and it's going to be easier for you in the next lectures, okay? So take it easy with Edwin from the past there. You know, he's a really cool guy. And tell him I say hi. See you in the next lecture, guys. Bye-bye.